get the Gambit glasses on. This is a rare one. You know, no, I'm going to start with h3. I'm going to start with h3 because I just don't want bishop g4. I don't want anywhere. Then I'm going to play bishop c2. And I'm going to put my queen on d3. Pretty simple. G6. I don't want bishop f5 to be so simple for them. Let's play rook b1. It's going to be annoying. Bishop f8 gives me the g5 square. Sorry about the garbage there. Okay, so bishop f8 gives me the g5 square. In fact, it gives me maybe a great gift. It takes knight g5 and queen h5. So, otherwise queen d3, g6. Okay, they just go there. Because they're actually kind of lacking moves. Queen d3, g6, rook d1, there's bishop f5. I could play... There's a rook e1. Simple. Okay, yeah, what are you going to do if I just go here? It's interesting. I like that we're making just easy decisions quickly. Whoa. Okay, wait. Now queen d3, g6. I mean, rook b5 is even possible. Rook b5, queen d3, g6, and queen takes b5. Is it bait for that? My position is good. I don't need to do that. I want b4. No, okay, we'll do it. Okay, it's mate, so you can't deal with the rook, because that would make you... Oh, I didn't even see that, actually. Well, takes and takes, I could do that and we're equal. Or I could go all in on the sacrifice takes and just come back queen d3. Which is kind of compelling. You know what? Yeah. Gambit glasses are on already. Let's go. I'm going to come back here with tempo. Queen g4 is also interesting. I'm going to come back here with tempo and play e6. Also bishop a4. Maybe queen g4 is better. Because bishop a4 was still possible. So they go there, so there's none of that. I think f5. Maybe. Here. They guard d5 if we trade, right? Okay, takes. Rook takes, bishop b3. Rook on a5 is actually a good piece. It is a good piece. Let's play... Okay. Take it. Knight g5. Okay, I gotta go here. Oh. I actually underestimated this. It's hard to hit and just defends this. Which is kind of my biggest resource. c4. The king's just gonna be safe here, is my concern. Now I got this. I'm not sure they should have let me do that. Did they have a choice? We'll have a look after. Rook d5 is force. So now we are equal. Check we can play. Rook's not going anywhere. The material's gonna be totally even. Knight takes? Okay. Okay, it's just even now. I feel like I might have had better. Down 45 to 27 on the clock with 1 second increment. My king is a little safer. They've got a pass pawn though. Take felt like a good trade for me in the split second I thought about it for. This has no threat at all. Should have just gone here. Okay, come on, let's play better. This is a good idea. Nothing much happening. I need to target their king. Probably had a better idea. Both a long time. I want queen c3. You could give me that, really? Now they gotta run. Yeah. Oh, this is looking good. Okay, I'll race you. My king is gonna be safe. One check, that's it. C1, I mate? I thought I did. I don't know. Come on, I couldn't have done that better. Stupid. What the hell is going on? Oh, finally, check, and I take the queen. What a roller coaster of a game. Oh, no, wait. Oh, I was going to pre-move, but there's like knight d5, knight 4. Oh, I still would have been okay. Okay. Oh my god. What a game. We won. We won against 2957. Not bad. Who was even a little higher before that game. Emote only off. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, wait, let's have a look at that real quick. So, we had a Goring. My opponent declined the Goring, right? dc3, bishop c4 is actually a very nice version of the Danish that can be extremely dangerous. So, my opponent played d5 here. Played just bishop d3. There's 6 in e5. So, bishop d3 is nice because takes. And again, if you just play a Danish, we don't have bishop takes c6 in like this position. So it doesn't work. But we include knight f3, knight c6 on the second move of the game. And now we go into this. And so now it's different. We have take c6 and castles. And so it's fun here. My opponent played like one of the top stockfish lines, which is like really never letting me get into the groove. Eventually they take this pawn on c3, which is interesting. All right, so eventually they're going to take this pawn on c3, which is actually the top engine move. If they do anything else, then after cd4, I just have kind of a very nice center. So they take this pawn, they take c3, takes, which I touched on, I think, in the original video going over all the Goring theory, but never actually, I'm not sure I ever got this in a game. So this was an interesting position. h3, very useful. Or else bishop g4, there's pressure on e5, bishop can come to h5 and patch everything up. You saw the bishop had nothing good to do in the game. So bishop c2, giving this idea, we just activate our rooks, right? So the issue is queen d3, there's going to be like g6, bishop f5. So, but there's just pressure here, right? There's just general pressure here. I have e5, there's no pawn, there's no knight there. You know, this nice diagonal. b5 was interesting. Oh, this is a move. That's a move. Takes queen d3, they lose. There's just no way to stop checkmate. It's brutal because there's no g6. So you just go there. Okay, I'll analyze the rest of this later. All right, GG. Okay, so I played rook p1, right? So again, just further limiting this bishop. So bishop f5 becomes harder. We're just activating all our pieces here. It's tough for them to play bishop f8, which is, I think, what they wanted to do to make something happen here. Because then with, like, an h5 resources and such, we can attack here. So h6 like this resource check, and taking here. That's a bishop, not a rook. Not defending f7 and forking the king and queen. So, rook b1, like, they really had nothing better to do than play rook b8. Engine wanted this idea, which is understandable. But okay, rook b8 and b5. So they're trying to do something. Like, they want b4, I think. So it's more than nothing. I went for rook takes b5. Cute little tactic here, queen d3. My concern was if I lead with queen d3, then there's bishop f5 in this position. Apparently we're okay. We just need to go here. and they recapture, and that's about all the same. But okay, rook takes d5, nice little finesse, takes, queen d3. What I missed, right? So this position was what I wanted. This was what I wanted, right? So, okay, of course there's a difference. This is great. I got my pawn back, and they've got a lot of problems here, right? Like, I don't know, you deal with this bishop d7, I take this. Otherwise, not obvious at all what to do or where to go with this. You've just, like, awkwardly lost these pieces. But they had this important move, bishop f5. Perhaps b5 was bait for me to do this. Bishop f5. Now, the engine says plus 0.32 if I go for this. Slight edge for white here, just owing to maybe some weak pawns over here. And slight edge for black here. It actually gives triple zeros. It actually is giving triple zeros. So, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it. So I have this light square bishop without its counterpart now. I'm down in exchange. We put on the Gambit glasses again, and we're pressuring here, right? So I got my pawn back, but now I'm down a rook for a bishop. In the game, yes, g6 for h7. So I had that choice, right? Whether to go for equality with the material even, or whether to go for keeping those Gambit glasses on for good reason. Okay, queen g4, maybe a slightly more aggressive post, and the rook can still be targeted with ideas with bishop a4 and like nice juicy guys here. And e6, there's no f5. Okay, we have to take a break from analysis. I had sacrificed the rook. I chose the bishop over the rook here. g6 came. I came back queen d3 attacking the rook. Probably should have went to g4, a little bit more aggressive, but I like the fact that it was with tempo. The thing is, the rook on a5 is a move you might have played anyway. So it kind of defeats the purpose of with tempo. Because the rook on a5 is actually really solid. Not only does it ia2, but importantly, it can't be attacked easily. And it kind of like really defends d5, which is kind of my next important idea. For example, like let's say you went to b6. I wanted to go, well, maybe, okay, I would have attacked you there. So let's say you went to b8, right? I had bishop a4 as an idea, right, which the rook also stopped. But I had like ideas of e6, maybe bishop b3 and using that diagonal as well. So the rook on a5 does an excellent job. I still am looking at e6 because what I want is you free to take it. And after rook takes, right, suddenly this is great. It just takes one little slip up like that. I mean, and also how obvious a move is pawn takes e6. The issue is I'm attacking the knight, and then I'm also threatening to take on g6 and checkmate you. Queen takes g6, right? There's nobody around. King h8, queen h7 is checkmate. Shout out to that bishop, and shout out to the other bishop if you go the other way. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. They played bishop f6. Very, very smart move. Very, very good move, right? Showing like a lot of class here why they're a great player, an international master, and 3,000 rated on chess.com, is because now the bishop is actually shielding the knight from coming in. The rook is also well placed to not get attacked, stop bishop a4, and stop bishop b3, and it's not obvious how I'm generating problems here. So I take on e8. The engine wanted me to play rook d1 and kind of keep some dudes on the board, try to attack over here. Okay, not the best. Queen takes e8 play, bishop b3. I'm trying to make a threat. And yeah, here I mentioned in the game I didn't like their decision to play an e7. I think what they wanted was like the queen to come out here, maybe to c6 or b5, and they didn't think the knight was doing a whole lot, and probably didn't love the idea of like queen e6 tying the queen down here. It looks dangerous visually that this can happen to you. You know, this diagonal opening in any way obviously is disastrous now with the queen and king getting fried by the bishop. Here in this position they have rook c5, which I guess is a concrete line you need to see, pinning the pawn to this bishop with check that actually never moved the whole game somehow. So queen e6, tough move to play. The engine's top move was an e5, which is also a tough move to play. You need to let this happen. King safe here, and then black's just doing excellently like this trade. They have lots of targets. Queen e1 check as well. The 85, tough move to play as well. So they played an 87. And right, this is why we love attacking and sacrificing. It just takes one little slip up, even, and then anyone will do it. Anyone will do it. No one will play perfectly in their margin. And the consequence for their mistakes is much higher than the consequence of my mistakes. Okay, c4. c4 is the antidote to 97. It is good for all my pieces. It's good for notably these bishops, right? Bishop wants to hop to d2, start harassing this rook that's been sitting so polished on a5, and we're opening the bishop right there. So it makes a lot of sense. c6 they play, which also makes a lot of sense because you don't really want openings this way. Queen takes c4. I'm looking at these squares, right? Okay, I could take c7 at minimum. I don't think you want that. So c6, they're just trying to hold d5. But I got to play c4, and so my bishop gets to join the fight, attacking the rook here. And the rook needs to be careful finding a square, because like rook c5, you can run out of squares very quickly. And again, rook a3, similarly, bishop b4. Rook a6, similarly. You also, so not clear what you're doing here. dc4, I think they found, well, what should they have done? Engine wanted just queen d8. Takes and takes. and it's saying white is better by 0.5. That's what they should have done. They played DC4, and we go for the ambitious option. Oh, wait, I thought I played queen DC4. No, queen DC4, yeah, I guess rook D5. But then, okay, we're still cooking here, even if we're not winning that rook immediately. We just need to kind of slide up the white, saying bishop C3. In the game, I played bishop takes C4 because I wanted to get my exchange back. They slid in with rook to D5. Check, I played. More on a bishop G5. Again, trying to trade the dark square bishops off. And if I trade the dark square bishops off, okay, there's some openings around their king. Because they got some light square pawns, and so we're able to hop around with that. In the game, knight G5, I kind of thought they had to take it, which would have been obviously a very nice trade for me. This rook is still being pinned, so I'm able to take it next turn when I need to. But they just slid off this line with their king, and so at this point I had to take the rook. And then here we're both pretty low on time, so we both just kind of moving around a lot. So knight E4, they're not letting me just take that bishop. Queen C4, I'm just kind of putting pressure on that pawn. G3, useful move, right? Right now I could get mate on the back rank with the bishop buying H2, so let's not let that happen. So this is a little bit better for me, because their king is a little bit exposed, and they got to defend this pawn. But otherwise, the material is actually equal. Here, like, yeah, queen C5, I mean, I think I noted in the game when I played knight C3, I'm like, this move has no point, has no threat, right? Obviously, you can't move the knight, because the queen is hanging, and you don't want to make this trade either. But it has no point. The queen knight is better suited there, and queen C5 actually, maybe does something. Maybe, like, I could follow that up with, like, bishop coming to this diagonal, getting in somehow, pressure here, right? Trying to cause some sort of issue. Anyway, knight C3, queen D7, we're just kind of moving around. H4, because that pawn was under fire. Knight B6, queen E2, to not lose either of those pieces. Bishop F6, suddenly this was a huge opportunity to play queen E3 and attack H6, which I missed. Knight E4, again, going after that bishop. Bishop D4, took away queen E3. Bishop E3, proposing that trade. Finally, here, we got somewhere with this trade. So queen D2, which is kind of a clever little move. They take this, I take this one. Otherwise, okay, they just trade here, and it's still a tiny bit better for me in the endgame. H5 was a big error. They needed this. They needed this to shield this diagonal, because what happens is all of a sudden, I finally got rid of that dark square bishop, and this was the idea I was looking for. It's like, trade that bishop, trade that bishop, trade that bishop. I go check. And now the knight and the queen are working beautifully in harmony, right? So the king can't step here or here, because knight F6 will win the queen. So the king, and otherwise, like anywhere else, like I have queen H8 if you go here or here, right? So that looks pretty brutal. So the king has to step this way, check, forces it out even farther. And now I go check. Yeah, you go this way, I just come here and look at the queen and knight work together. And also look at my pawns. King H2, right? I can't get checked again. Because my pawns shield my king so well. And then otherwise I'm fighting some mates. In the game King E7, and I was just eating pawns. But then this game got really crazy. So I probably should have won this pretty cleanly, because I just have this very powerful passed pawn that just probably should have coasted to the end. And again, look at how well my king is shielded. There's no queen E4 check either. And I promoted, and then somehow I'm like, there's nothing obvious to do, right? Like, I give like this one check, they take on A2, and I'm like, I don't see it. Queen HC3. That's what I did. That's what I did, right? Like, I have no checks in this position, and I have no way to stop promotion. So, like, what, like, it's actually not obvious what to do at all. I have no checks. The knight blocks all the checks. I don't have that one. So, what do? I went here. Okay, promote. Where was the mate? Check here. Oh, it was with this check. I didn't see that move. Oh, and they have to trade queens. I didn't see queen F6, so I'm just like, oh my god, I see this position. We both have two queens, and this could checkmate me. So I'm like, okay, I need to trade queens. So I do the second best move, which is good that I at least found that. So here we trade queens, and now again we're back to the drawing board. Here I probably should have maybe just taken this pawn. No, but then I get checked a bunch, right? You can get checked a bunch with queens on the board. Even with this, right? Like, you can imagine check comes here. If I go to the H file, check comes there. Anyway, so I go here and try to patch around my king. So I give that check and stop queen E4. And I'm just like, you go. So queen E6 attacks my knight. And I'm like, again, I need to set up some solid defense. So I go check and knight here, right? So that, again, that's actually was pretty nicely done, if I do say so myself. We're stopping all the bothersome hits, and we've now guarded G4 twice, and we are moving. We are moving with that pawn. Again, they try to adjust to, just make some move, stop G5. And, if I'm not careful trying to support it, then maybe I can allow like another series of checks. But here, this worked out pretty nicely, because I go queen E3, just supporting G5 with my knight still controlling C6. They go king B4 and G5. And we're rolling. There's still nothing to bother me, and we're still just trying to push Fortunately for here, they start making this pretty easy on me with queen e6, and I had knight d3, winning the queen and promoting a second queen. Crazy game against Scarby Marco Materia, who is an extremely strong player, 3,000 on chess.com, but your boy is 2-0 against him, as you can see right here. Look at that, 2 games, 2 wins. I think my other game was also a YouTube video. Am I correct? It was a Von Hennig Gambit. And this time we got him with the Goring Gambit. The last time he played a Caro, and this time he played e5. Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. Certainly a stronger player than I. So or else I wouldn't be bragging about it. What do we got? Okay, 2489. How are you still in IM? Oh, 2009 birth year. My guy is 15 or 16 years old. Okay. All right. Well, I got to sign off for today.
William Wgraif, the Gambit man, takes his seat at the board. E4. E5. Knight F3. Bishop C5. The Bushcast Gambit on the board. On with the Gambit classes. Hero Pod unlocked!